First topic of discussion. We're not even going to talk about the games. We're not going to talk about anything that happened footballing wise this weekend, because the biggest thing that's happening this weekend, maybe apart from El Clasico, is the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, Clasico is bigger than Ballon d'Or, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the El Clasico happens twice a year, Ballon d'Or once a year, and Ballon d'Or is tonight. The ceremony is in 10 minutes at the time of recording, and the only thing we know, I'm guessing Rodri's gonna win it. After all this shit, Lautaro might win it, but
No.
I'm guessing Rodri's gonna win it. But all we know is Vinicius won't win it. Vinicius won't win it, and you think Vinicius should win it.
Yeah, correct.
So go and make your point. I don't think so.
I don't even need to make my point. If you watch football, the point's made.
Okay, sharp. I have a very great.
Vinicius is here.
Yeah.
Rodri's there. So either or, I'm not fast. But for me, I'm saying Rodri. I'm not mad at Vinicius. I'm not mad that Rodri's winning it. Someone who plays football in the same position. I'm a fan of him.
Okay.
But for me, Vinicius, the season he had for Real Madrid, winning the league and the Champions League, entertainment factor. Bro, I feel like he deserves it, man.
Okay.
But then again, Rodri deserves it. So I'm not really. I'm mad that Rodri's winning it. I just think Vinicius should win it.
It's a hot take, but I don't think he's even the best candidate on his team. Like that is it's a hot take. No, I know.
I'm not doing this
because you think Bellingham's shit.
No, I don't think he's shit. He's a great player.
No, he's a very good player, and for me, the Ballon d'Or is the most important player. Not just because if it was the best player in the world, Messi would have 15. Because it's the most important player that season. When Benzema won it, he was the most important player for club and country that year. 2018, club and country, Modric, he was the most important player. He won the Ballon d'Or. And it's debatable, but you have to take into account club and country. For me, club and country, the most important player this year was overall Bellingham. For Madrid, sorry. Madrid player this year. The most important club and country player this year was Bellingham. And for me, the most important club and country player overall was Rodri. That's why I think he's going to, and he will win it, obviously, if Vini's not winning it. Rodri will win it because overall, he was the most important player, club and country. But for Madrid, in the league, Vinicius ghosted far too many times, and Bellingham stepped up massively, way too many times for me to not put him above Vini last year. I know what Vini did in the Champions League. Had one of the best Champions League runs that I've seen in recent history, but that is one competition. I actually don't think Madrid will win the league if it's not for what Bellingham did at the start of the season. That run he went on just after signing, people were comparing him to Ronaldo and he's a midfielder. Like he fucking tore it apart, and it made him. But people forget we had a great start last year, and what Bellingham did just nullified all of it. I actually think we win the league last year. For as crazy as that sounds, seeing how it turned out, without if Bellingham didn't do that in the first 4 or 5 months of the season, we win the league last year because we got off to an amazing start. They drop a lot more points than they did to other teams. They don't win El Clasico. We probably smacked them in El Clasico in October when Bellingham scored that fucking banger from outside the box and then the last minute winner. So many clutch goals. Do you remember the amount of last minute winners he got? Like people saying, oh, they're tap-ins, they're this and that, but he came up so big, and it was frustrating to watch as a Barca fan, but. For me, at that point in the season, I was like, there's no way he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or if they win the Champions League and League, because he's been by far the most important player. Then Vini went on to have a great, Champions League campaign in the knockouts, but for me, that doesn't... It's not like Bellingham stopped playing in the Champions League. Like, he's still good, he's still decent.
On the flip side,
yeah.
Bellingham was wank in the Champions League.
No, he wasn't wank. He just wasn't as good as he was in the
Quarter-final,
league.
semi-final, final, he might as well not even been there.
That second leg against City that they won, you're saying he was wank. He wasn't wank.
He was just doing cardio.
Bro, the first goal he started that move.
Yeah, apart from that, he was doing cardio.
Gee,
What I'm saying is, basically, if you take Vinicius out of the team, they don't do anything near what they're capable of doing. If you take Bellingham out, we've seen what they can do.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I understand that. Okay, he might be their best player, but most important player last year, no.
I don't think either of them was their most. I think as a team, that's why they're so good, because that's why they won the league and the Champions League.
Yeah.
You could honestly, you could give it to Toni Kroos in terms of importance. We see what they're doing without Toni Kroos.
Yeah, bro, and I wouldn't even be mad at that.
But so you're saying if Bellingham won the Ballon d'Or tonight, you'd be happy with that?
No, because I think what the fuck has football come to that Jude Bellingham is winning a Ballon d'Or? That's what I'd be thinking.
That.
But I would be thinking the same thing if Vini won it, because when you look at a lot of past wingers that have won the Ballon d'Or, Messi, Ronaldinho, even not just winners, just players, just Zidane, R9, like attacking players that won the Ballon d'Or, and then we're now Vinicius Junior. Like let's not act like Vini is up there with with those sorts of players. He's really just not. Like he's just not.
Yeah, but who the plays today is?
Rodri. I actually think Rodri is one of the best CDMs of all time.
No, I hear that. Top midfielder.
Yeah. So and he was by far the most important player.
Well, for Man City, 100%.
Like
100%
Man
after
City.
Spain. Obviously, like, you won the final when he got injured at half time. But
Bellingham wasn't supposed to do. I feel like Bellingham was doing.
No, he wasn't. He was doing
Vinicius. He was doing Vinicius'
He was doing
job at the start of the season,
things, bro. Like scoring 20 goals a season. He was.
And it was not normal. And he was stepping when Vinicius. Where was Vinicius at the start of the first 4 or 5 months of the season when they needed a last minute goal? Where was Vinicius in El Clasico when they were losing 1-0 away? Where was Vinicius in those moments? It was Bellingham that was stepping up for them. And their season isn't remembered as it is if it's not for if they don't win the league. Clearly, if they win the Champions League, like in the way that they did, but then they get dominated in the league again like they did the year before. It's a very I don't think neither of them even get a shout for Ballon d'Or. I think Rodri's a clear winner.
I'm not mad at Rodri winning it at all.
Yeah,
I'm not mad. I think he's absolutely unbelievable. Like he's a joke.
Yeah,
I just from just to entertain. Obviously, at the end of the day, the Ballon d'Or is down to what the Ballon d'Or is. But from an entertainment perspective, I think like Vinicius for the season Real Madrid have had, give it to him sort of thing. But again, I'm not sitting there going, oh, Rodri shouldn't win it. Rodri's not deserving of winning it. I can sleep healthily knowing Rodri's won a Ballon d'Or because it's someone who's creditable to win the Ballon d'Or. I just think, on a personal opinion, that I would want Vinicius to win it because I think he deserves it. But Rodri also deserves it. But anyone else is not for me in a discussion.
But do you not think if we have Vinicius Junior as a Ballon d'Or winner, considering as well like what he was? Like,
do you not think he's a superstar? I think he's absolutely unbelievable. Think about it, bro. Yeah, like obviously I know hindsight's a great thing, but when that chance he had at the start of the Clasico, that goal goes in, it may be a very different game. But I just think, do you not think he's an absolute superstar?
No,
I think he's the best winger we've had since like the Neymars and Hazards. Easily.
Well, yeah, but there's been it's been a thing in football that there's a lack of
talented wingers.
Talented wingers. Like,
but
he's probably the only. Him, Rodrigo, and now Lamine is coming up.
Oh, well, Rodrigo's not in that conversation. No, Vinicius and Lamine.
No, but I'm saying talented wingers that are coming up.
Yeah,
but there's not that many. There's not. We've had a massive dry spell, and he was the one. But when you actually compare, him to Ronaldinho, to Neymar,
you're never gonna get
to Hazard.
Yeah.
When you actually compare Vini's peak, which is probably last season before that, to Hazard's peak,
but he's still very. I know obviously these guys are Hazard's retired, Neymar's in Saudi. But obviously Vinicius is still very young. Do you know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he can't win one in the future.
Yeah.
And if he keeps doing what he's doing for the next 3-4 years, then eventually he will win one. Yeah. But I've seen him be. The thing is as well, he has, and it's been good that he did it last year in the Champions League. That's what got him to these conversations. But I don't think he was better last year than he was the year before. He was just better in the right moments. Vinny always has these games where he'll be unstoppable and he will look like he's on par with Hazard, Neymar. But I've seen him. I don't think he's like those players had some like they did it for the whole year. They like undisputed. Like every game you'd watch them, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get this from Neymar. I'm gonna get this from Hazard, and they'd go and they do that for 3, 4, 5 years. Vinicius, I don't think he's had a full year of that yet. Like I genuinely don't. Last year, like I said, 3, 4, 5 first 3, 4 months of the season, not even close to being his team's best player. The season before that, it was Benzema. The season before that, it was Benzema's crazy year that he won the Ballon d'Or.
But in that Champions League one where Benzema won it, Real Madrid that win out of Vinicius.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not saying he wasn't important, but I'm just saying in the biggest moments, like he didn't step up. Like there are games in the last 2 years from Vini where he's actually shit. Like I look at him and like I think you're bad at football. Like I promise you, there's way too many games like that where he just goes completely and he doesn't even look like a good footballer. Like he goes back to his 2020 self. Like you remember when Benzema was saying
he's against us.
Yeah, he's against us. Like that Vini is still there sometimes, and I feel a player like that can't win the Ballon d'Or. What do you mean?
When you're a bit young, you've still got inconsistencies.
Yeah, and well, that's what he still needs to prove to me that he can mature a little bit. Because for me, he's very immature. Like you can see that in his personality, and then it reflects on the pitch as well.
But I think his personality what makes him such a good footballer. I think that's lacking in football right now. I think it's because Neymar was the same. All these
Neymar wasn't a dickhead.
Vinicius, Neymar and Vinicius are very similar in the sense that they play the best when they're angry. When they get the crowd involved, when they're angry, when they've got like a chip on their shoulder. That's what I like about Vinicius. You watch a game in midweek against Dortmund. He's relentless. He doesn't care. He gets the ball and he goes. This is why I think he's a breath of fresh air. So Lamine is going to be in the same category, but with Vinicius, he's a breath of fresh air because when he gets the ball as a winger, he's going for the jugular every single time. If he loses it 9 times, he's coming back the 10th. And I think that's so rare in football at the moment. And I think he takes that responsibility. Like,
no, he has that X factor, like you said.
Yeah, he does. You know what I mean? Like he has that. Like when you watch him, you're like, this guy is like. He will put the team on his back in moments. I know what you're saying. Like as a if you're talking about a general consistency over a course of a season, I don't think there's anyone that compares with Rodri. Rodri's an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 every single game. Yeah, and that's borderline impossible.
And that's what makes him one of the best CDMs of all time.
That's borderline impossible. Yeah. But Vinicius, this is what I mean. Sometimes the Ballon d'Or is about X factors. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like I said to you, I'm more than happy for Rodri to win it. I just think if someone said to me like, cool, Vinicius, Rodri. I'd say Vinicius, but that doesn't take anything away from Rodri. Yeah. Rodri's unbelievable. Absolutely. He's the best CDM we've seen since Busquets.
But do you not think that like, I'm using Neymar as an example because he's the most recent Brazilian player that was up there.
It was tough to give me examples of Neymar because that's my favourite player of all time. So
I know. Biased. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm a Barca fan, so I'm biased as well. But anyone with a brain and eyes could see, even when Neymar had a bad game, you could still tell like, this guy is one of the world's best. This guy is. And he would barely have an off game, like barely. And when he was needed, like just to be the team's best player, for example, 2016 when Messi got injured for like 3-4 months, he was clearly the team's. And in runs like that, you'd be like, he's undisputedly the best player in the world, and he wouldn't have a bad game like for a good 3-4 months if the team needed it. Yeah. Vinicius can't do that. I'm not saying anyone, but there are lots of players in the world that can step up for 1 or 2 games or can be really really clutch. Like for example, Rafinha's one of the most clutch players I've ever seen. Last season, pretty much every big game he was scoring. You seen this week what he did.
You're about to replace him with Nico Williams, boy.
Yeah, well, I disagree with that.
Yeah, no,
I disagree with that.
Harsh. That was
harsh. He was so fucking clutch last year. There's players that have that X factor and that step up in the big games. But for me, the best players in the world are the ones that, okay, we have a 3-4 month stretch where we need you to step up. Our rivals have had a great start to the season. I need you to be good like every game. I think he does it
towards the end of seasons. Especially
in the Champions League. Yeah, in the Champions League.
But that's what Real Madrid are though, isn't they? Yeah. You know what I mean? They're so like in love with that competition. That's their competition, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I know what you're saying. In terms of, it's hard to base a Ballon d'Or for a whole season because that's what it should be about, really. Yeah. But
I'm not ready to base the Ballon d'Or off. He had, clutch moments in the Champions League.
But talent for talent, like apart from Rodri, I don't think anyone. Obviously Mbappe, but we know we'll get onto Mbappe. We'll get onto Mbappe.
When we talk about classical,
talent for talent, I don't think anyone lines up with Vinicius.
What in the Ballon d'Or race? No.
Just in terms, forget the Ballon d'Or. Just in terms of like a winger, this is what he does. This is what he's capable of. I don't think it's anyone you can disrespect him by putting a name against.
Lamine.
Yeah.
No, but that's it. That's it. And I think Lamine's more talented than Vini.
He's a more thingy footballer. Vini is more like boom, boom, boom. Lamine's like...
Vini's more explosive.
Yeah,
Lamine's more of a footballer.
Yeah. Pure footballer.
Then it gets into a different debate. If you prefer Vini to win the Ballon d'Or, I'm not saying you do, because he's a winger, he's a talented winger, and he's more exciting to watch and all that. If you think he should win the Ballon d'Or because of that, and Rodri's a boring CDM, if someone
I didn't say that.
No, I know, but people do say that. There's people that maybe in the back of their they won't even admit it, but in the back of their brain they're like, I watch Vinicius play is more entertaining than watching Rodri play. Yeah. For me, Vinicius is better. Like there's people that think that. I think that's completely wrong. Yeah. Like if.
Bro, I've seen. Do you remember who won the Ballon d'Or in 2006?
What kind of aura?
Yeah. Like the first second defender ever to win it. Yeah. So I know if you're a real football head, you know how good a footballer is, just even when they're not an attacking player. But that's a classic example. The one I just used is a classic example of winning the tournament and then winning the Ballon d'Or. Italy don't win that World Cup. Cannavaro doesn't win the Ballon d'Or.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think the Ballon d'Or, it's a bit sometimes selective in terms of tournament.
For me, when it's a World Cup, that has to take priority.
Yeah, for sure.
If you had a good club, like a decent good club season, and then you're vital, or you're by far your best team's player when they win the World Cup, I think you have to win the Ballon d'Or. That's what I think. I think people say Messi robbed a bunch of Ballon d'Ors. I think he did rob one. I don't think in 2000. Not rob. But I would have given it to Iniesta in 2010.
Oh, the one where Schneider should have won it? Or Ribery?
No. When Iniesta should have won it in
What?
2010. When he won the treble with his club and then scored the last minute goal.
Yeah, it's my favourite midfielder.
Against Sneijder.
Second favourite midfielder of all time. But that was the season they were saying Rodri or Schneider should have won it as well.
Do you see the criteria that came out for it? I think it was. I'll put it up on the screen if I can find it. But it was number one, just individual performances and individual, playing level or whatever. Number two, team achievements, so trophies and things like that. Number three, sportsmanship.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I did see that, Because
Why?
Why is that a thing?
What the fuck, the
I
sportsmanship?
can't lie. You can be the biggest prick in the world, but if you're the best footballer in the world,
Give him the Ballon d'Or.
you're not going to win it because you're a prick.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, I'm not having any of that.
Do you think if Vinicius wasn't such a prick, he would have won it? Because it is a voted award.
Do you think he's a prick though?
Yeah, he is a dickhead. Like he in the Clasico 2 years ago, he clotheslined Gavi for no reason. In the Clasico last year, he started like he gave and talk to the Barca fans when he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He ghosted the whole game, and he started like mocking the Barca fans and shit. In the Super Cup, to be fair, he cooked that game, but literally for no reason. Maybe Vinicius should come on the podcast to fucking tell us why. Yeah. But he just went up to Gavi as he was walking off. He was like, me 3, you 0, me 3, you 0, blah blah blah. Like he's a fucking cunt. The thing against Kimmich, when he had the ball and he was like rolling it out to him and shit.
Yeah.
Like shit like that is funny, yeah. But at the same time, you think like you're actually a dickhead. You are a dickhead. Like you're a prick. Or I can name so many more. When he was coming off the pitch the other day, not even a couple of weeks ago, he was coming off the pitch. Game was done. He's walking off the pitch. It's 90th minute. The ref, as he's walking off the pitch, puts up, there's 6 minutes added on. Yeah. And he goes, 6 minutos. He just starts chatting shit to the ref. Like, bro, the game's done. You're about to win a Ballon d'Or, or at the time you thought you were about to win a Ballon d'Or. Just come off the pitch. Like, surely anyone with eyes can see this guy's he's a cunt. He's actually a cunt. Like,
but do you know what's mad though? I don't think he's like that off the pitch. I think certain players have a football personality and an outside football personality. I think he's just one of those guys. When he gets on the pitch, he just turns into like. I'm not going to be. This is a weird comparison, but Kobe, lovely guy. Kobe was a lovely guy off the pitch, even the way he spoke in interviews. But on the court, he's a prick. Kevin Garnett.
But it's a different.
I know it's a different sport.
It's a different type of prick.
But like when they're playing, they're like, I'm on.
If it's part of the game and it's necessary and it's like, then calm. Yeah. But like shit like what I said of like just going and clotheslining Gavi for no reason.
I think it's worse when you're talking about the Espanols or Sassunas, them type of team.
Yeah.
I think whatever happens in El Clasico is just rivalry based.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. But he does it every game as well. That's another thing.
Yeah, him and Gavi hate each other.
Yeah. You wouldn't watch Kobe. Kobe is probably the best. Okay, no, Kevin Garnett is a better example. You wouldn't watch Kevin Garnett. He wouldn't do it every game. Like, it's only when it's a rival, when it's a big game. Okay, now I'm stepping up. Now I'm a dog. Yeah. But the guy's getting riled by Mallorca fans. He now has Vinicius Junior.
I think the whole racism thing gets to him a bit.
Oh, 100%. Danny Alves used to get bananas thrown at him and he'd eat them. Yeah, he'd eat them, bro. Like, and then you know what I don't like about that either? That he says, he was crying. He was like, I just want to play football. But he goes on a pitch and sometimes does everything but play football. He'll have stinkers. He'll ghost. He'll barely touch the ball, and then he's talking more with the crowd and trying to piss people off on the pitch. Then actually, like, bro, you're losing 1-0 to Mallorca. Fucking step up. And he's there fighting with Pablo Mafil. Like, bro, it just makes it like sometimes it's not even like sometimes I'm like, okay, well, it's fucking your team up, so keep going. But there are times where it's good for him, and there are also times where it's unnecessary, it's stupid, and it makes him look like a cunt, and it doesn't even help his team.
Do you think he's world class? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's world class.
Yeah,
he's world class. Like, I'm not debating he's the top 2 player in the world.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
But
yeah, if the thing is, you're Spanish, yeah, so you have all the rights to want Rodri to win it. I would want Rodri to win it if I was you.
Of course.
Like, I would be like, yeah, 100%. But in terms of Ballon d'Or, I'm not. Whoever wins it, I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like back in the day, it was a bit more like, it's either going to be Messi or Ronaldo. I think it's just a bit interesting now because it's like someone else.
Yeah.
And do you know what I don't like? I don't like how Fabrizio Romano. I don't like it.
I was gonna bring that.
I don't like it, man.
I was gonna bring that up.
I don't like it, bro. It's taken all the excitement. Obviously, it's his job. Fair play to him. He's great at his job. But it takes all the excitement out of things. Do you remember watching that Ballon d'Or and sitting there like waiting for them to open the envelope?
Do you remember the days when they used to announce the top 3 in the morning?
Oh, bro.
Yeah. And then they'd have them all 3 on the screen.
It's nostalgic.
And they'd be like, the winner is, and they'd have a little suspense moment.
Remember when Neymar won a Puskas award? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro. That would get announced 3 days before now. I was sat there gassed when he won it. You know when Santos Neymar won the Puskas, but now it just takes the excitement out of it. Like, how are we even debating this? It's not even. We should be debating this after the Ballon d'Or's been done. We shouldn't even know the Vinicius is not going to win it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. It hasn't even in real life. Obviously, when we posted it will have, but in real life, it hasn't been announced.
Yeah, I think it takes the excitement out of it a bit. Do you know what I mean?
No, I actually, it is true.
Yeah.
I was thinking this morning. I was like,
it's just
the ceremony's tonight.
Yeah, bro. Like you're supposed to sit down, do your thing in the day, sit down, eat dinner, watch a Ballon d'Or. You shouldn't be knowing.
Now, why do
12 o'clock on
why do people watch the Ballon d'Or?
Bro, just.
What's the point of watching it now?
Yeah, it's just like...
It used to be to find out who won the Ballon d'Or.
Literally, it used to be exciting. They used to be doing the team of the year, everything, all the players.
All the players used to walk
out. Bro, now, honestly, they've killed it. Fabrizio needs to be... Someone needs to put a...
I don't mind for transfers.
Even that, bro, he's killed it. Because, bro, do you remember, obviously, Sky Sports back in the day, like, you'd be sat there watching Deadline Day or something, or whatever, and you just see, like... I remember when Van Persie joined United. Like, it was mad. Came out of nowhere. I didn't know about that transfer 24 hours before.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Or it'd be a rumour because Fabrizio would know something.
Yeah, it's just like... I mean, that's the day and age we're in now, but...
He's too good at his job.
Yeah, he's too good at his job.
He's too good at his job.
I don't know what links he has, but they need to chill out.
Or you can just take a break. Like, for awards, for transfers, yeah, come, that's how you make your money.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I hear that.
But for awards,
just
fucking
leave
allow
it.
it.
Yeah,
like,
just let us enjoy it for once.